greater power over us. There was this whole understanding that, oh, men could get away with a lot and women couldn't.
Mhm.
We do this,
Yeah.
and the power is in our hands. I've done an MBA, I've done an accounting degree, like you were mentioning before.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Community Impact. I'm Reena Augustine, the founder of Red Carpet Fashion Show. Today, I have the privilege of interviewing the most amazing women I met a couple of weeks back, who is the empowered coach for parenting. So, hello, Yolanda.
Hello, Rina. So lovely to be interviewed on your group. I am so excited about today.
Thank you, Yolanda. When I saw you at the Angels on Heels group, and when Hina asked me to interview you, I was like, wow. When I found out that Empowered Parenting is your book that you have written, and whatever you have mentioned in that particular book is your personal life story, it empowers in itself because when you share your story, what you went through, and how others can change their life with your example so that they don't repeat the same mistake, is the best thing you can offer anyone. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Why reinvent the wheel? We've made the mistakes, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what empowered parenting is about, to
Yeah.
support our kids and have them on our side, and we on their side. So
Yeah.
many parents you see today who they don't have that foundation of trust and confidence with their kids. They're not confident in themselves as parents. They doubt themselves, and as we parent from that energy of doubting our own selves, and not having overcome our own stuff, and we take ourselves as parents, we take ourselves to be parents of these kids. We're not giving our kids the foundation, that security, that confidence, that trust that we have in them, in our own selves, to our kids. And that's when our kids are then looking for other ways to feel that um, that support, because we are the tower of support that our kids are seeking. And if we can't step up to that, our kids are going to find it elsewhere because they need that.
Mm-hmm.
And the best role model uh, that our kids need is us.
As parents.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
are even, yeah, no, keep
yeah.
going.
So Yolanda, you say that, do you mean like kids need attention?
No, kids
Mm-hmm.
need power,
Okay.
and they need to, it's like a electrical appliance. In order for it to work, we need to plug into a power source.
Mm.
So our kids need us supplying that power to them, and we can do that by empowering ourselves.
Okay. So
So
empowering
then they
ourselves
plug into us, yes,
as parents.
as parents.
Mm.
So it's
Okay.
like if you put the power source of a toaster into a plug point that is not charged with power itself. They
Mm.
that toaster is going to look for, where else can I get my power?
Wow.
So
What
we
an
need to
example.
empower. Simplest household example.
Yes. Yes. Everybody can relate to it. So let's go a bit
Yeah.
backward. Tell me your background, a bit about yourself.
So I was born to Indian parents. I grew up in the Middle East. I was born in Kuwait. My parents moved to from India in Goa to Kuwait, where my dad set up to create a life
Mm-hmm.
for us. And I was there until I had my first daughter. So I lived most part of my life in Kuwait.
Yep.
I was married in Kuwait, and then I had my first child in Kuwait, and then I moved to New Zealand, where I lived close to 10 years in New Zealand before moving to Melbourne 9 years ago.
Okay. So what made you to move to New Zealand?
Well, I wasn't too happy being raised in Kuwait. I had many challenges in Kuwait, being a woman, being um, I was raised in an Indian, very Indian environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to an Indian school, and the friends and the society community was all in that mindset. And I found that through my own personal story, very disempowering.
Mm.
And I wanted a change. And when I had my daughter, I thought, this is not the life I want for my daughter. I don't want her being raised in a country where I didn't feel safe as a child.
Wow.
I felt that I was looked upon in a different way. I had many incidences where, even walking from school to home, that I had experiences of being, I didn't feel safe.
Mm.
I was touched inappropriately. I've had incidences where people would enter the lift, men would enter a lift with me as I was going from school and touched them inappropriately. Several incidences like that, right from being a very young child, that
Oh.
I just didn't want my child to grow up in that. When my daughter was born, I thought no girl of mine is going to grow up in this
Yeah.
country.
So that
And
made you
so I
move.
started to sort for ways to get out of that country and raise my girl to be her whole self.
So when you went through that, did you mention it to anyone?
I did. I did mention it to my parents, and my parents did their best to make me feel safe, but there were too many instances that made me realize no, this doesn't feel safe at all, and that my parents couldn't protect me. There was more to this than, my parents couldn't be with me every day. They both worked. And I grew up with a lot of fear, a lot of resentment about being born a girl child, because I could see around me that men had greater power over us. There was this whole understanding that, oh, men could get away with a lot and women couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And if people would hear our stories, I would be rejected as a woman, or my parents would express that, oh, if you don't save your name, people, you won't be married. And I said, what is this bullshit? I didn't call this upon myself. It happened to me,
Yeah.
and yet I had to hide it so that I could save my name, and because I was a woman and I was a girl.
That must be
So
so
it didn't sit right with me. It was
frustrating,
very disempowering.
empowering. Yeah. So you made a choice. You made a choice that I'll find a way out so that I can give a good life to my kids.
I didn't want that to be my daughter's story. I
Yeah.
didn't want the fear that if she had to walk home from school, that she could be touched inappropriately and she could be abused in any way. I just wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I felt no safety
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
raising my child. However, having said that, I know so many other people who this is not their story, but
Yeah.
this was my story, and this had to do with my own fears that I faced
But Yolanda,
growing up.
you are sharing it. There are so many women who are not that confident and not that bold like you to share what must have gone in their life. Because as
Yes, I
mentioned,
have heard that. The more
yeah,
I have shared, the more I have had people come to me, cry, and say, Yolanda, you're so, how do you do this? I felt you were talking about my story.
there you go. There you go. Because nobody is that bold to go and say that this happened to me because you know how society will look at you from later, right? Because you have shared
That's
that.
what I felt then. And that's the most disempowering thing we can believe.
Yeah, yeah. So
People
you
care
changed your
about
life.
themselves first. Yeah.
You changed your life. You by one decision you made.
Oh, yes. And I've made many such one decisions.
Wow, that's great. You have written a book called Empowered Parenting. So, what
Sorry,
empowered you?
Abundant Motherhood. My book title is Abundant Motherhood, Empowering Moms to Empower Their Kids.
Alrighty. So,
Yes.
what made you write that?
So as I went on my own journey, feeling very disempowered, so really it was my journey from disempowered to the steps I took to feeling empowered again, and seeing how, as I was disempowered and as I felt disempowered, I didn't know, of course, that I was disempowered. You don't know when you're in it.
Yeah.
You just think that this is your life, and I'm just overworked, burnt out, trying to please everybody, trying to do the best for my kids, cooking them the meals that would be good for them, cooking meals for my husband then of what he needed, and just trying to be doing the best for everybody. and not doing anything for me. I was just burned down, run down. And as I was disappointed in my own self and my own and how I was feeling, because I was disempowered. I was reflecting that back to myself. And when I
Mm.
was raising my kids from that energy, I was getting angry with them so much more. The anger I was feeling with them, I did not know, Rina, that it was the anger I was feeling towards myself. It was my own unhappiness. And that
Wow.
took a big light bulb moment to realize that, oh my God, this was not the parent I wanted to be.
Mm.
I didn't want to be raising my kids always angry with them, always frustrated, always thinking that they were not good enough. I thought my oldest girl had learning disabilities because she couldn't get math and she couldn't. I put so much pressure on her because being raised in an Indian home, education is so important. And I just thought that she had no that she had challenges. But this is the same child. As I changed me, this child went on to excel only by me changing me. How is that even possible? I changed me and
Wow.
she started to see greatness in her, because as I saw that I could be more, I was able to see that she could be more. And the language I used with her, the parenting style that I changed with her, I wasn't then putting that you're not good enough for her. I was telling her she was good enough because I knew that
Wow.
I was good
You,
enough. So the journey we go on
yeah,
is within ourselves. And as I realized this, I thought, oh my God, I need to tell every other mom that.
that,
How do I do this?
yeah,
I hired a person to help me write a book.
yeah.
And I wrote the book, Empowering Moms to Empower Their Kids, because I could see how my children transformed without me focusing on them, with me focusing on me. They transformed.
So, Yolanda, you said that when you were telling your child, study, 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 because that's how we grew up, right?
Yeah,
Education plays the key role. I know some parents of my friends, they used to take photos of the beggars in India, right? And showing the kid saying that, can you see that beggar? If you don't study, this is how you end up.
that's
What
fear.
exactly?
That is
If
putting
you teach,
fear.
yes, and how
How are
a
you going to
child's,
create a love of learning? You want to create lifelong individuals who love learning.
yeah,
And if we are going to put fear that, oh my God, I don't want to be that person, so I have to study, the energy, the fear. So I believe that fear and love come is are two things from the same coin, are two sides of the same coin. And if we are going to choose to parent from fear, then we are putting fear in our child, we're putting doubt in our child, and we are so energetically, fear is a very low, dense energy.
hmm,
So if we are parenting from this and causing our children to act from fear based energy, we are dampening their passion. They are operating from a very dense, and even studying becomes hard because it is come from fear. But what we
hmm,
want to create kids is from love based parenting, seeing the greatness in them, holding up the mirror to show what their possibilities are endless.
that's right.
So allow them to be driven by their own dreams. So
Wow.
my daughter, for example, my oldest wanted to be a chef. And I thought, okay, yes, I did think, ooh, I don't want my child to be a chef, but
Yeah.
I didn't put that in her. Say, oh, that's rubbish. Chefs do this and that. And nothing wrong with chefs, by the way.
Yeah.
But I can see that this wasn't what I knew my child to be, but I needed her to see that too. So I said, all
Mm.
right, let's go with that. So we created a vision board with them. And this is what I write in my books, how to create vision boards with your kids so you can
Wow.
drive them within themselves to be self motivated, self driven, inspire them to be their best self using their own dreams, even though you don't have a great, like a lot of kids want to be rock stars and they want to own Lamborghinis, they want to do all the greatest things. Put that down on paper, build that roadmap to where they are today and how they can get there, and watch how that path starts to unfold to allow them to be their own. All you tell your child when you do this process is that I believe you will be successful no matter what, because we are all limitless.
That's right. That's right. Wow. So, growing up, if we say that I want to be a musician, that's unheard of back at home.
And
Musician,
imagine how many
hello.
parents get angry and they start throwing, mud on their dreams.
That's
But let's
right.
use that. What is the reason why they want to be a musician? What is the story in this little child's mind about what a musician is? Play with it,
Yeah.
evolve it, allow it to grow. Today, my daughter is doing IVF fertility. She's choosing to be a IVF specialist
Wow.
from being a chef. How did that happen? I didn't shut that dream out. She chose a new dream because she was aligned with her own self. All our kids need to know is that we are aligned with them to be their best self
Yeah.
and then allow the path to unfold.
Wow. So educate the parents and the child will grow himself or herself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we educate the parent to be their own best self.
That's right.
You know,
That's
I
right.
went from doing, I was raised in that fear base. I wanted to be successful. Did degrees after degrees. I've done an MBA, I've done an accounting degree, like you were mentioning before. It's our drive to be successful, and we don't know because we don't have a path.
That's right.
Our parents told us, go to college, you will be successful. So I went to college so many times
Five
because I just
degrees.
wanted to get there. Yes, me too. I've got a wall full of degrees because
Yeah.
I wanted to be somebody for myself, but I
Yeah.
didn't know the path that I needed to align with my own self, which is what has now taken me on this path, which I absolutely love, empowering people to be their best self.
Wow. So when parents contact you for the coaching, is that how it works?
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So I offer lots of free events, Rina. I've got one coming up on the 24th of April. I have a parenting masterclass happening on Friday, the 9th of April, in my group, Empowered Parents Group.
Mm-hmm.
It's my Facebook group. I'm also on Instagram as Empowered Coaching, and I have a LinkedIn profile coming up as well. But to come on to my live events, it's my Facebook page.
Facebook page.
It's about, so this Friday is about at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, Brisbane and Melbourne time. I'm doing a half an hour masterclass, parenting masterclass for free. Jump on my link, and you can come on to my parenting masterclass.
So
And
the
I
group
run
is
90-minute workshops on Fridays every month
the
on the
group is
24th of
called
April. Empowered Parents Group.
Empowered Parents Group. Right.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
Yolanda, you do something called Giggle for Girls.
That's right. So
What's
that's how
that?
we started off in this journey. Because I felt very disempowered as a child being a girl. So my focus started off, how can I empower girls of that age? So from the age of 6 to 12, we run empowerment parties. So we do pamper parties where we empower girls to feel good, look good, and create stronger friendships. We teach them how to appreciate friends in
Mm.
our parties. We bring pink robes, pink chairs, satin robes, and pink towels, and we do foot massages, hand massages, chocolate facials, cucumbers. We play with them, we dance, and we share with them how they can feel good in all aspects of themselves,
Wow.
and how they can feel good about their friendships. Share what is special about your friends. Their friends get to share what is special about them. We put glitter eyes and lip gloss, and we roll out a red carpet, and we have a fashion show just like your red carpet
Oh
events.
my God. I want to
So
be a
we have,
part of it.
please
What
do,
age
girl.
group? What age group?
So right from age of 4 right up to girls of the age of 12, we run parties for them. We do
Mm.
limo parties. We bring in a red limousine. We roll a red carpet. They go on a limousine ride. We play games right through on the limousine ride.
That is nice.
We do spa pamper parties. We do princess parties for little girls, and we do a disco party as well. We turn out all the lights. We have a dedicated DJ, and we teach kids how to tune into music to lift up their emotions. Because kids can go through a lot of emotional uh, downs, and you find a lot of kids who struggle with anxiety today. That wasn't heard of before.
No.
It is our parenting pattern of anxiety that we are transferring onto our kids. Our parenting from fear has been passed down from generation, that this generation now is saying, fuck that, I don't want that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And our kids are having anxiety and stress symptoms.
Yes. Yolanda, talking about like what you're doing right now, a workshop, pampering, taking them out, disco music, from the age of 4 till 12. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because that's a very tender age. Whatever you put in the mind of a child stays forever. An example I can give about myself. I'll say two incidents. The first incident is growing up back home, this color is something that everybody, says that, oh, you're dark, right? So when you're dark,
Mhm.
you're not accepted everywhere in schools, in gatherings. And I used to be like, oh my God. And people used to call me Black Devil, Kala Bhoot, right? Black Devil.
Wow.
And it stays, it never goes. It never goes, right? So it was that tender age. The second incident was studied from one of the best schools. Everybody was awesome over there. The exchange students. So we had two girls from America come to our school. So our school was one of the best in that area. So the American girls had that yellow color pencil, that's American pencil. And but I used to go tuition classes for my, when I was little, like a kindy tuition class, child care class, where the teachers' parents lived in America. So she gave everybody that same pencil. So I
Mm.
took that pencil to the school. But that girl, the American girl, she said, that's my pencil. So at that age, the nuns believed her more than me. I can never forget
Mm.
that. I can never
Mm.
forget that. Later on, my parents came, they found out, the teacher said no, I was the one to give this to Rina. No matter what, the image that I had, that, I had to do so much in order for me to prove myself right, was in itself a big, big drama and frustration. Never
So
went, I was 8.
was your story that you were dark skinned, that's why you could not be, you weren't valued enough?
uh, Maybe. Don't
So
know.
we create a story, Reena. We create a story from a tender age, like you say. And then once we set this story in, if we are not conscious enough, we are recreating the story in as adults. We are calling on situations to ourselves to be discriminated.
Mm,
We do this.
yeah,
And the power is in our hands to change this story.
that's
This
absolutely
is
right.
what I am. This is what I'm about. Change your story to change your reality,
Wow.
because we are always reflecting back to ourselves. So let's cut that bullshit story that we picked up from childhood. Yes, it had very valid reasons. I'm not negating your story.
Yeah.
It is very true, but it does not serve you as you go into the world today and be your best self.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, the reason why I shared is what you're doing with the tender age right now. Whatever you're doing, it will stay with them forever. You're changing their life.
Absolutely.
You are giving them
And
importance that, hey, you are important. Let's take you in a limousine. Let's do a fashion show. You're beautiful.
that's right. So I raised two girls, and I could see how bullying and how girls can affect other girls, can affect girls in growing up. It happens a lot
Yeah.
in our privileged societies, where, and it happens everywhere, but a lot of it happens in these first world countries, where bullying is a big thing. It's given so much of emphasis because it affects kids, and it adds to anxiety, and it adds to a lot of stress, and parents are struggling with supporting kids who are being what they call bullied in school. And I had this incident with my daughter when I brought her from New Zealand to Australia. She was in year 6, which is the last year of primary.
Mm.
So when I put her into school here in Australia, the girls were, wearing makeup. They were getting ready for high school. They were, they had boyfriends. They had their own friendship circles. So when my daughter came in, dark skinned, and not being accepted by the other already cliques that were formed, I got a call from her teacher saying, Yolanda, I'm really sorry, but this is what I have heard. Has Yannicka, my daughter's name is Yannicka, has Yannicka told you that she is being bullied in school? And I thought to myself, that just shattered me. I believed I had a good relationship with my daughter. And she did not share this such an important information with me. I was devastated. I said, I will look into it. And I got up and I called Yannicka. I said, Yannicka, what happened? This is what I've heard. Your teacher called me and she said, is this true? And she said, oh, that's strange, mom. Yes, there are the groups of girls in my class call me brown toilet, they call me all of these names. But she said, mom, this is the golden thing she said to me. She said, mom, it's not me, why would I believe it?
Oh
I'm
my
not bullied.
God.
It's not who I am.
Wow. How
And
old
that's
was
when I
she?
realized she was 12.
Oh my God.
That's when I realized it's how we raise our kids' self belief in themselves. That's where bullying should stop, not in the other kids. The kids are going through their own patterns and their own dramas and their own fears and insecurities.
Yes. Oh,
So I
love
made her,
Yanika.
isn't it?
I know. The kids
Love
teach us a
Yannicka's
lot.
mom who created Yannicka.
I love you,
Look at
Yolanda.
me taking it on myself.
Yes, no, absolutely. That
But
is,
this is what we are about, raising our own selves, shifting our own stories. Growing up in Kuwait, I had this similar story that people would tell me, you are brown skin, you're not fit to be driving the car that you are, or working in the place that you're, or earning the salary. You are fit to work as a maid in my home.
oh my God. Really?
I've had someone tell me, pick up their slipper and say, you are nothing but the shit under my slipper. This is your equal. And I said, no, that is not me.
Wow. Don't you get angry?
You have, no, I don't anymore. Because I see it's their own small, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
This is the mindset that they live in. What is their level of self-worth that they project this on me? It's their stuff, not mine. I have compassion for them. I treat them with so much more compassion and love because I
Yeah.
say, oh my God, that is your world that you live in. How sad for you. It's
Yes.
not my stuff. I
Yeah.
don't take it up on me. And that's what I've raised my child to do.
That's amazing, Yolanda. Wow. I love it. I love it, Yolanda. So you believe in vision boards?
Absolutely. I've always had vision boards, no matter what I
Wow.
was attracting in my life for my business. I started running workshops from having it on my vision board, a picture of a workshop. And in less than a year, I had to pinch myself when I saw myself standing in an audience and running workshops for so many people, because a year before I would never have. So I do believe that engaging all our senses, visual, auditory, all of our senses is so important. And so, why not use these tools? Let's
Yeah.
master our own minds to create the life that we want.
Wow. Wow.
We're
So if
only limited by our own vision of ourselves.
correct, correct. So if you want to advise the youngsters right now who are watching you, what advice would you give them?
I would say to them that they are limitless. They just don't know it. And if they do, what is stopping them?
Okay. Wow. And what is the advice you would like to give the mothers?
The mothers, I would say to them exactly what I wish I was told all those times when I felt overworked, when I felt burnt out, when I felt disappointed in my kids, disappointed in my partner. What I would have wanted to hear at that time was, shift your focus from all of those and put it into yourself. Focus your energy on your own self love, your own joy, your own happiness. You can create it right now. Nothing in your external environment needs to change for you to be the happiest person in the world, in your world, is your choice, no matter what's going on around you. And that's how you take your power back. It might look impossible, but it is possible, because
Fantastic.
I could do it, you can do it, and so many women on my program are doing it.
Oh my
So I've
God.
got a new program. Am I allowed to share my new
Yeah,
program? Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I've put together, I've always run a 12-week program, but then I realized it was a lot for parents to commit to 12 weeks. So now I've taken that and done a 3-day family transformation program. And I invite those listening to this. It's a new program, so the price is heavily discounted, 60% off. But it is a qualifying chat, so you need to qualify to, because it asks a lot for 3 days. I really need to see that commitment
Yeah.
from parent, because the full
Yeah.
transformation is like taking 12 years of a transformational journey and putting it, packing it into three, just
3 days.
raising your awareness and taking you through processes to master your own emotions, to master your own mind, to
Mm,
giving you the tools to support your kids to be masters of their own life.
mm.
But
So we
to
can
do
find that
that,
information in your on your website,
on my website, empoweredcoaching.com.au,
www.empoweredcoaching.com.au.
empoweredcoaching.com.au.
And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, please follow Yolanda on Instagram and also the Facebook group, Empowered
Yes,
Coaching Group.
Empowered Parents Group. Empowered
Empowered
Parents
Parents
Group.
Group. And also, if you would like to get any advice from Yolanda, please contact her on Facebook. Yolanda, you're active on Facebook.
Very active on Facebook, lots of free events, and I offer free chats as well. Maybe on this post, if they want to comment and write, you will tag me on this post, won't
Yes,
you,
yes,
Reena?
yes.
So if they would like a free chat to just a pattern, it's called a parenting pattern discovery, just to
Mm,
show them their pattern, because awareness is key. We don't know what we don't know, and once we know, we cannot unknow. So it's
fantastic.
that 30 minutes of full opening up your eyes and watching the pattern you're playing out in your family.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for sharing this journey and also your personal story and how you entered into empowered parenting. Very, very helpful. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you for having me. I've been inspired by you, Reena. You're amazing too.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. See ya.